very much want to issue this apology. The other night, I said something that was actually pretty damn hurtful and just rude. Um, I said I have 2 successful siblings, and I have 7 siblings. So it's either like saying my 5 other siblings aren't successful, or they don't count as siblings. For clarity, speaking of Baron, they're half siblings. But let me just be absolutely clear in case that somehow ever gets back to them. I want to clarify that I was being shitty and rude in an entirely different way. I meant generationally when I was talking. For the record, they've all lived fascinating lives that cover the gamut of experiences in America, and I love them all. I consider all of my siblings, half or whatever, as full, complete, and true siblings. And I feel particularly bad about what I said because all of my siblings have given me a gift which is impossible to repay. I have generations of nieces and nephews, which is to say, I was born already an uncle. And I get the joy of seeing what generations of wonderful people look like carrying on the family name and in the family way, you know? What I really meant to say was that I have nothing to worry about because this generation, this litter of kids is well represented. And, of this millennial group, 2 of us are killing it, so I can kick it. It feels like societally, the pressure's off. That's why it's a gift. I'm talking selfish stuff here. Societally, the pressure's off. I can live my life absolutely selfishly. And until recently, if I'm honest with y'all, that is exactly what I did. I've had a ball, y'all. when you got when you got nieces and nephews who are like the best people on planet Earth, in my humble opinion, and you got siblings who have done just about everything under the sun. It's I'm sure there are folks that get self-conscious about that kind of stuff, but further with how spoiled I got to be, family was wonderfully supportive. If I wanted to finger paint all day, try to make a living doing that, I'm sure I could have. And felt proud of myself, too. Insufferably, annoyingly, what do they call it? Self-actualized or whatever the hell. Just annoyingly supportive. And supported. But I want to be real with y'all here, and maybe give this whole channel a little bit more context, because I think it's important, especially given the kind of stuff we're talking about. When you're blessed like that, I think you get an opportunity to see a side of life that a lot of folks don't get to. It's like if you got to go to a casino and play with house money. With all the tension gone from this stuff, without pretty weighty seeming things. They seem weighty to me, like having family legacy on the line or what have you. When that's gone, you get to view things a little bit different. And it's not like there's not a place for someone in a family like that. Like, look, there's some value to having one member in a group who's the designated degenerate, who's just comfortable in that vein. Sometimes somebody has a little too much fancy wine at a restaurant, says something to your group you ought not to say in polite company. It's useful to have somebody who can be like, listen, fella, full warning, I've been thrown out of a Denny's. I don't give a fuck about this place with the cloth napkins. Hey, nephew, hold my coat. It's the only one I have that doesn't stink that bad. There's value in that. And I think it extends societally. Ought I to then be thrown out of that restaurant along with the guy I was bickering with in that hypothetical situation? Absolutely, yes. It will have been deserved, and I was absolutely, for real, thrown out of a Denny's, and I absolutely deserved it then too. But in society, there is value to people like that as well. And the thing that bugs me a little bit is that my reputation as a degenerate is under attack because I find myself now having to share space with people we used to agree were simply unacceptable to have at all. There's a certain, if you've ever been a degenerate, I'm not accusing anybody, but look, those of us in the gutter understand this. There's a certain pride we have in the class of folks that we will allow to be in the gutter. And we have, what makes us gutter people is the dignity to know we're better than the sewer. And that's what the Nazis are. And that's what modernly MAGA is. That's the sewer stuff. And I like to think your old pal Jake has the pride to not want to be associated with those folks. That much pride yet remains. And I suppose this is a long way of serving as a double apology for saying that Marjorie Taylor Greene should be pelted by trash. For the record, if you throw trash at a person, whoever that person is, you've committed assault and you should go to jail. You should serve your time and then you're forgiven and that's the end of it. But for the record, that's a crime that I was saying we should do. I want to be clear that I was teasing. I don't actually imagine any of us will ever actually be in the same room as Marjorie Taylor Greene, because hopefully by the time any of us get elected to the House of Representatives, she's in prison for something. But, for the record, that would be a crime, and if you do it, you're also accepting that you're a gutter person. And you're better than that. If you're here, you're better than that. And I say this with some expertise myself as being a gutter person. Thank you for listening to my apology. Sorry, Ann, Chris, Tony, Mark, Mary Lynn, Sarah, and Nick.